Hi guys, welcome to Sports Business Talk episode 3. Today we're going to talk about shoe deals in the NBA and how they work. After entering the NBA, one of the first things players do is sign with a shoe company. The top companies are Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. However, Nike has its own subsidiary brand, Jordan. So when it comes to Nike, some players will sign with Nike and others will sign with Jordan. Right now, Nike has about 70% of the players in the league, Adidas has about 15%, Jordan has 6%, and then Under Armour has 4%. Under Armour rose to prominence after they signed Steph Curry, and he had an amazing career. He was originally signed with Nike, but Nike lost him because they didn't value him enough. So when they proposed a plan for him in his next contract, they didn't really show him how he was going to be a center of their company. So he left and joined Under Armour. And the funny thing is, he was recruited to Under Armour by a teammate of his on the Warriors, which is Kent Bazemore. So right now, Under Armour starts to deal with Kent Bazemore, and they love him because of the fact that he delivered Stephen Curry to them. Shoe companies spend a lot of time and put in a lot of effort recruiting recruits who they think will be top players in the league and will help the brand gain more visibility. There are 3 types of shoe deals, typically. So the first deal is called a merch deal, and this is for the lower tier players, probably like the 9th, 10th, 11th guys on the bench. These deals are primarily just for shoes and apparel from the brand. So a player will get like a $5, $10, $20,000 allowance, which they can use to purchase products from the brand and wear during games, like shoes, workout gear, all that. The next type of deal is the cash deal. So the cash deal is when players actually get paid by the company, and then on top of that, they also get an allowance as well. So players entering the league can typically get anywhere from about $200,000 to $700,000 on an annual basis. But the top players, like first, second, third, fourth round picks, can get like $2 to $3 million a year. And then they're usually about 2 to 4 year contracts. So if a player does well, after that contract ends, they can negotiate for a much larger contract. If a player doesn't do well, after the contract ends, the shoe brand can decide, well, we don't want to further our relationship and let the player go. The biggest deal to get is a signature shoe deal. A signature shoe deal means that the brand believes that you're one of the top players and you're so popular that they can make your own shoe that people will buy. Right now, the only players that have shoe deals like this are LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, Damian Lillard, James Harden, and Steph Curry. So all these players have the biggest contracts, and they're also getting paid royalties as well from the shoes that they have that people buy. For example, the Steph Curry shoes from Under Armour, James Harden shoes, which you'll probably see a lot of the players at ASU wearing. Some players have decided not to sign with one of these big brands and go the Chinese route. Such players include Klay Thompson, who has a huge deal with a Chinese shoe company, paying him millions of dollars a year. Then there's the lone player like Lonzo Ball, whose family decided we don't want to do any of that and design their own shoe that he wears, and they sell to others. Players will typically sign their shoe deals sometime during the draft process. So when they first leave college and they sign with an agent, one of the first things the agent will do is get them a shoe deal, and they'll start wearing those shoes during draft workouts. And then once they get actually into the league and figure out what team they're going to be on, then the companies will kind of decide how much they want to pay them, because at that point, if you're going to be in a big market, then they're going to pay you more. If you're going to be in a small market, you won't get as much money. And here's an example of some recent shoe deals that have been signed by players. Ben Simmons, when he got drafted, signed a 5-year, $20 million contract with Nike. Giannis Antetokounmpo just signed a deal with Nike, and he might be getting his own signature shoe out of it. James Harden's deal with Adidas is for 13 years and $200 million. And I'm sure you've all heard about LeBron's deal with Nike, worth over $1 billion for a lifetime. So next time when the draft comes around, kind of pay attention to your favorite players and what companies you're signing with for shoes. Thanks guys for listening. See you next week.